Christina, and I'm just here to do my basic makeup routine tutorial for you guys. I'm sorry that my voice sounds like this. I think I'm coming down with something, but we'll do my best to, I don't know, tell you guys how I do my makeup. First things first, I have super dry skin. I have eczema, so the first thing that I do all the time is moisturize, and this is probably the first thing that everyone should do, even if you don't have dry skin like me, especially during this time of the year where it's cold out. I usually like to use just like Aveeno moisturizing lotion, or I also use Cetaphil or Eucerin, like something that is really gentle on the skin and doesn't contain like any fragrances or anything, because that's not really good for the skin. Alright, so we're gonna start with just your basic foundation. I usually like to use the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse. I find that this foundation is nice and like thick, but at the same time it doesn't feel heavy on my face. About this foundation is I get a really nice coverage with it. Once you have that done, I usually like to do just like a pressing powder just to set that in a little bit, and I just go over the face loosely. Honestly, this is some sort of CoverGirl powder, loose powder. Don't know the exact name of it because I've had it so long it just is faded, so I'm just gonna go over the whole face with that. Just some people like to use concealer before foundation, and I've tried that, and for me at least it doesn't really work as well, so I usually put concealer on after. The Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 10 Light. I love this concealer. This is by far my favorite concealer, and I'm just gonna dot this in places that I want to highlight. Do like some final setting powder, and for that I use the Maybelline Fit Me pressing powder, matte and poreless, normal to oily skin. Absolutely adore this palette so much. As you can tell, this is like my favorite color and this is the color that I use to actually contour my cheekbones and everything. I've seen so many people like contour and it looks like literal dirt on the skin. So once you find that shade that really just blends well with your skin and doesn't look like complete garbage, stick with it forever. And the way that I usually contour is just suck in my cheeks and then just follow the natural divots that crease there. Alright, so once you have your contouring already, you can move on to blush, and I go back and forth between using blush and not using blush. I'm not really a big blush person, but I like to use the Maybelline Dream Bouncy blush. They didn't have the shade that I normally use, which is a lighter shade, but this one is Peach Satin, and I usually just dot a little bit. That. And it's time to highlight. And for the highlighting, I usually use the same palette. I take the one all the way to the left, the color that's all the way to the left, which I don't think it has a name. I don't think any of the colors in here have a name, but you can kind of get a gist for it. It's just a light color. And I like to highlight my Cupid's bow. And my nose. And a little bit right there. Not much. I don't have like enough cheek real estate space to really do a full highlight. And next I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. I'm going to dip into this same color and just use that to drag that across the outer corners of my eye, following the crease with my finger. Once you have that in there, you can go ahead and move over to a darker brown and put that more concentrated in one corner. have that in there, you can go ahead and choose this lighter color, the second one from the edge, and just put that over the inner corner. And then lastly, you're gonna take this darkest shade from the palette and just really just dot that in the corner for some added depth. Just use like a really short smudge brush. This is literally like something I got at the dollar store. And I dip that in a medium brown color and just swipe that underneath my eye. Inner corner of my eye, I'm going to take this white color and use that to highlight my corners of the eye. Move on to my brows now. Feel free to use whatever color you want for your brows, but since my hair is purple, I usually like to do my brows purple. A lot of the times people think that I dyed my eyebrows or whatever, and I'm like, no, it's just eyeshadow. So my dad got me this really beautiful eyeshadow palette for Christmas, I think just from Amazon or something, and it has like a million gorgeous colors, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I will be using just these three, or these, you know, just purple eyeshadow. And this is one of the things I definitely use a brush for. I just have like a really cheap angled brush, and I just start. Like a tip, if you have not a lot to work with, put a lighter color wherever you have more like eyebrow hair. Put a lighter color, and then wherever you don't have a lot of eyebrow hair, put a darker color, and then it'll kind of like even itself out. I'm gonna line the upper water line, and for that I'm gonna use Maybelline Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. This eyeliner goes on so dark and so easily. I absolutely love it. So once that is done, then you can move on to your liquid eyeliner. Normally, I use a Maybelline Master Precise felt tip marker, which I guess you could say is a dupe for the Kat Von D tattoo eyeliner, which is really lovely. But I recently just got the LA Splash Cosmetics Architect Slim eyeliner marker thing. It's pretty much the same thing, felt tip and everything, but it's really cool because it can go like either really thick or really thin, so I find that I have like really good control with this, and it goes on pretty dark, which is nice. I usually like to start from the middle and work my way out. For the actual wing, there's like so many different ways that you can do it. You can like draw the line up and then connect it, or I know some people just go straight across and then connect it. I kind of go back and forth, like I don't ever do one set thing. I think for right now I'm just gonna drag it from the bottom and then connect it. Alright, so there's the one eye done. It's time for a mascara. I use the Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect Maybelline mascara. And I usually just like to go over the layers a few times just to get the lashes nice and plumped up, you know. So now we're pretty much done with the eyes and the face, and the only thing that's really left is to do the lips. Kat Von D Vampira? Yes. This is like one of my favorite lipsticks right now. I wear it literally all the time. And what I love about liquid lipsticks is I don't really feel like I need to use lip liner with it, because it just creates such a crisp like line in and of itself that I don't really need it. So the only problem that I find with this lipstick is that for me, this particular shade, only this shade, never comes on like evenly. It always looks a little splotchy. So to remedy that, I usually go over this shade with the Color Blur by Lip Studio, Maybelline, their new matte line of liners. This shade is 35 Plum. This shade literally matches the Vampira like perfectly. Just to give it even matte finish. This is pretty much my everyday look. Oh, I forgot one thing. This is totally optional. Sometimes I like to just like add some little sparkles on the inner corner of my eye. Let's just do that today. Oh, it's NYX. Oh, didn't even realize that. NYX Liquid Crystal Liner. Yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like to see more tutorials, definitely let me know. I could do some specific cosplay makeup tutorials if you'd like. No means am I a professional. I probably should actually use brushes when I do my eyeshadow, but you know, to each your own. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something from it and that you like it. If you like it, please subscribe and I'll put up some more videos. Alright, thanks so much. Bye-bye.